Hey guys, this is Dan again. Welcome back to my channel. So it's been a little bit over a week since my last video, which was the very first video I made for YouTube about my Red Sea Reefer 250 Deluxe tank that I'm setting up. So since then, as you can see, compared to my previous video, I've added a few more rocks to the tank to make it a little bit more scenic. I might add more in the future, but so far I think this is good for now. So I can actually see the fish swimming around when I add it. I've seen tanks with a lot of rocks, and it's hard to see fish fit in there once it gets too much in there. But I think I'm gonna add one or two more pieces as I go along. So I ordered the protein skimmer, which came, but it was defective when it arrived, so I had to send it back, and now I'm waiting for an exchange. So hopefully I get that soon, so I can add that to the sump here. I also ordered some more salt and some more filter socks, a hydrometer, and also a marine care test kit, which measures the ammonia level, the ammonium nitrate, nitrogen dioxide, pH, and the alkalinity of the water. We want to make sure that the water is in really good condition before adding any fish. So today, with the help of my roommate Phil, we're gonna show you how this works, like demonstrate the test of the water. I'm gonna open up this first. So it comes in this container, and I guess up here they have 3 test tubes. And let me see, this is the charts for each test that it covers. Let me see here. Oh yeah, okay, so I guess this is all mixed up. Oh, sorry. Okay, so each chart shows you the how to do the test in a few steps, and in the back there's a chart to compare to make sure that your water is in the right spot. It comes with a user manual, a syringe. Let me see, some bubbler here so we can get droplets of this chemicals out. So I guess some of these are in powder form, which I'm not aware of. It comes with a spoon so that you can scoop it out. Let me see here. A lot of bottles here. So this is the pH chemical that we can measure. This is the ammonium. There's 2 of them. I have to see what this means. I'm going to have to read into it to see why there's a B level and a C level here. This is the nitrate. No, so this is another one. So I want to pause the video for a bit, and then I'm going to read into this, and then my roommate and I are going to show you how the test works. I'll be right back.
All right, so we're going to start with the pH test first, and it comes with a card that tells you the instructions, and there's more detailed instructions in the booklet too, but this one is actually pretty good. This one is one of the easier tests. There are 5 steps, and it's illustrated here. So what you need to do is take 5 milliliters of water from your tank. You're gonna add 3 drops of this pH chemical, and then you're gonna screw on the lid for the glass vial, which I have in the back. You're gonna shake it for around 10 seconds, and then in the back of this card has a color guide for you to figure out what the pH level is. So you're gonna match the color of the solution to this card. And in the back here, I've already extracted some water just to make it a little easier for me to do these tests.
So this is my roommate Phil, by the way. He's gonna help me do the test.
So this syringe that they included is conveniently measured to 5 milliliters. The black from this plunger is kind of blocking it a little bit, but this is now 5 milliliters. I'm gonna empty the water into these glass test vials that they give you. So this was the pH chemical that I was talking about earlier. And the direction says to add 3 drops. It also has the indicator here as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and add 3 drops to this. So 1, 2, 3. And then before you shake it, you want to make sure you close off the vial. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. As you can see, it's completely changed color. And in the more detailed instructions, they tell you that you want to make sure you test this within 5 minutes because the solution will start to change color. So you can tell that it's definitely not in the low area. You can see this is much more purple and this is more of a muddy teal. And it's brighter than the 8 as well. So my guess looking at this, it's probably between 8 and 8.2, just because it's a little bit more bluer. So, and this camera, depending on the color correction, it's not going to be super accurate. So this is definitely a test you want to take with your naked eye, not through a camera. So this is in a pretty good zone for a reef tank because you usually want it between 8 and 8.4 is ideal. But you want to check it, you do want to just double check with the exact fish and the marine life you have to make sure you have the right pH level. So depending on what organisms you have, they may need different pH levels. So there it is. And pretty much you want to just empty this out because it's going to be, this water is going to be useless, plus it's probably going to be toxic. All right, so next I'm going to do the alkalinity level. And for this one, you can actually choose to do either 5 milliliters or 10 milliliters, depending on how sensitive you want the test. Since I don't have any fish in there yet, and it's a pretty broad range for an acceptable level of alkalinity, I'm just going to start with the 5 milliliter test. So same thing, I'm using the same syringe, and I'm extracting from a sample of the water. This one is you add drop by drop and you check the color, and then you count how many drops was needed in order to change it from the start to end color. So I'm gonna use the small eyedropper to extract what they're calling the titrate. So this first drop should change the solution to that blue color to signify it as a start. The directions aren't super clear, but I don't think you count the first drop. And after every drop, you do want to shake it for 10 seconds. So this has a bluish hue that coordinates with the start color. So now I'm gonna add one at a time, shake it for 10 seconds, and see if it turns green.
drop number 1.
This is 10.
It's turning green.
Oh, you can already see it's actually turning green.
Wow.
So I would say this is green. If it turns yellow, that means it's over, and then you have to subtract from it. So it took 10 drops using the 1 DKH resolution. So 10 drops mean this alkalinity is about 3.57, which is optimal actually, because the accepted range, if you look online, is around 2.5 to 4.0, with 3.5 being the optimal. So this is great. This is the third test that I'm going to do. It's the ammonia. I expect the levels to be pretty low because there are no fish, so there really isn't any waste. There is supposed to be bacteria from the rocks and the sand, so that may generate a little bit of ammonia. But all in all, I expect the amount to be fairly low. This is one of the more complicated tests because you can see it requires 3 reaction agents. And I've already pre-filled the vial to 5 milliliters. And next you're gonna wanna use the A, which is a powder, using the spoon provided. So using the spoon provided, you want a level spoon. And then you're gonna wanna mix it again for 10 seconds. So it's just like a slightly cloudy solution right now. And then you want to add 5 drops of B. So it has the measurements here, 5 drops B.
Oh, that's the one that probably leaked.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you want to shake it again. And then after this, you do the same thing with C. You add 5 drops as it indicates on the label, and then you shake it again for 10 minutes or 10 seconds. And then we're gonna have to wait 15 minutes, which I'll speed up for you guys. So there goes B, 5 drops of C. And then now we just have to wait for 15 minutes. And then similar to the pH level, we're gonna check the color of it on this provided graphic. So this has been 15 minutes to stabilize the ammonia. And what you actually wanna do is remove the cap and then look from the top to the bottom while putting it on one of the white circles, so you can evaluate the color. And you should be doing that for the pH one as well. So with the camera, it's kind of hard to show you. But this one is measuring, it looks like it's between 0 and 0.2, but you have to convert these to the levels that they say are safe or harmful to the organisms, and it's actually in the back of the card. So this is, if you call this 0.1 here, you look in the back, So this is the measured level, so it was 0.1. So it's equivalent to 0.01, which is definitely a safe level for your aquarium. And like I said, when I was testing this, there are no fish, so I would have expected the ammonia level to be low anyway, and this confirmed that. All right, so this is the fourth test. It's another one that requires 3 elements. So I've already filled this up with 5 milliliters. That's what the direction calls for. So now we're gonna add 5 drops of A, and then we're gonna shake it. Next, we're gonna add a level spoonful of B. And this time we're gonna actually shake it for a whole minute. All right, so that's been about a minute. And then the last step is another spoonful of C this time. And you want to use the spoons provided for each of the bottles so you don't contaminate them. So that's 1 spoonful of C. We're gonna shake this for 10 seconds, and then we're gonna let it sit for 9 minutes, and then we'll check the color of it based on the back of this card. And you can already see it's starting to develop the color, but we do need it to stabilize for 9 minutes. So we will get back to this in 9 minutes. Once again, you want to open the cap and then look through it. Based on what I'm seeing, this one is actually kind of high, so might need to figure out why there's so much, but this looks to be between 10 and 20. The acceptable levels are supposed to be 5 to around 40, but you want the lowest as possible. So this one though I may need to do again, just because this one was the first one with all 3, so I may want to double check that. But based on this reading right now, it's looking more like between 10 and 20. And finally, the last one is the nitrite test. It's fairly straightforward. This one uses the same chemicals as the nitrate test, except you omit the reactor or reagent B. This one does need more liquid though. This is 16 milliliters, so you can see it's almost full for the glass vial that they provide. And the proportions are also different. They actually just need 1 drop of A instead of 5 drops for the nitrate test. So there's 1 drop, and then you still have to close it and shake it for 10 seconds. And then next you're gonna add a spoonful of C and also shake it for 10 seconds. And then we're also gonna wait for this to stabilize, and then we're gonna check the color. This one kind of has a very pale pink already. Here are the results from the last test. This is the nitrite, and it has been 9 minutes. You want to remove the cap and then look through it and match the color with the card. So this one looks pretty much like it's 0.2.
So that concludes our test of the kit that we got from Red Sea, and I'm hoping that I'll get the protein skimmer that the exchange that they're sending to me soon, hopefully sometime this week, so I can install it, and then hopefully shortly after that I'll be able to add some kind of marine life into the tank. I've got suggestions that I can do either the fish first or the live coral first, and I think I'm most likely going to do the fish first, just to test it out, make sure the water is good for them, and then slowly add in the live coral or sea anemones afterwards. So thanks for watching, everyone, and please subscribe if you like the video. I try to be better at video YouTube in the future because I'm really bad at it, but I'm learning. Thanks. Hope to see you again. Bye.